Hello students, it's Nazia Begum here, your physics lecturer, welcoming you all in today's lecture. So today we are going to discuss about failure of classical wave theory. Okay, so why we are saying it classical? Any theory which has been established so earlier in very early stages, that is called classical theories. Okay, and as I have told you that light is having dual nature, wave as well as particle, but this particle nature of light has been discovered very late. Okay, so initially all the scientists, all the physicists were assuming that light is having the wave form, and by assuming light as wave they also have tried to explain the photoelectric effect of light. Okay, but they failed in explaining so many phenomena related to photoelectric effect on the basis of assuming light as wave. Okay, and after that they assume that no, light is not wave, it is particle. Then on the basis of particle theory they tried to explain the photoelectric effect, in which they have succeed. So today we will study the failure of classical wave theory in terms of explaining the photoelectric effect. Okay, so according to wave theory, light is an electromagnetic wave consisting of electric and magnetic fields with continuous distribution of energy over the region over which the wave extends. Okay, so according to that wave theory, now we discuss what they have assumed. So students, as you can see that this chapter is basically theoretical. Okay, initially in volume 1, that is till chapter 7, whatever we have discussed was basically derivation based. Theory portion was less and derivation portion was more. Okay, but here after chapter 9 was also having so many derivations with ray diagrams. Okay, but from chapter 10 and onwards we basically have theory based chapters. So that's why we will continue here in lecture manner. Okay, and I will read the lines for you and explain you. And so many things we have already discussed related to photoelectric effect. So I think you will easily understand whatever is written here. Okay, so according to wave theory, what has been assumed, that is given below. The first point is, according to the wave theory, when a wave front of light strikes a metal surface, the free electron at the surface absorb the radiant energy continuously. Greater the intensity of incident radiation, greater are the amplitudes of electric and magnetic fields, and greater is the energy density of the wave. So, dear students, mark two things here. It is written that first thing, if the intensity is high, so second thing, the energy density will be high. But as we all know that energy depends on frequency, not on intensity. So obviously this is going to be failed one. Okay. So according to this wave theory, greater the intensity of incident radiation, greater will be the amplitude, and hence greater will be the energy distribution. Hence, higher intensity should liberate photoelectrons with greater kinetic energy. But this is contrary to the experimental result that the maximum kinetic energy of the photoelectron does not depend on the intensity of incident radiation. Okay, so according to wave theory, they said that energy depends on intensity. But when we have done experiments, we seen that there is no role of intensity in case of energy of the electron, maximum energy of the electron. Okay, energy does not at all depend on intensity. So this theory failed in explaining that how energy doesn't depend on intensity. Second, no matter what the frequency of incident radiation is, a light wave of sufficient intensity should be able to impart enough energy required to eject the electron from the metal surface. This is also the wrong thing. Okay, what is written in the first line? no matter what the frequency of incident radiation is. But experimentally, we have seen that a minimum frequency is needed for the electron to uh, exit from the metal surface. Okay, so that thing is also contradicting here in wave theory. So the wave theory fails to explain the existence of threshold frequency. Okay, according to wave theory, no matter what the frequency of incident radiation is, that they have assumed. That means they were simply ignoring the role of frequency here. So they have failed. They failed to explain the existence of threshold frequency. Then the third point, the energy of light wave is smoothly and evenly distributed across its advancing wavefront. Each electron intercepts an insignificantly small amount of this energy, and so it should require a finite time to escape from metal surface. But actually the emission is almost instantaneous. So we have seen that as the light falls on the metal surface, within a time period of 10 to the power minus 9 second, the electron comes out from the metal surface in that short span of time. Okay, but here according to wave theory, what is written there? That first the wave will go there, then it will transfer small energy to electron, then again continuously wave will come and they will continuously transfer the energy to electron, and when electron collects sufficient energy, then it will come out. That means first the electron will absorb the energy, after that the electron will come out. So here so much time will be needed for electron to come out from the surface. But actually it is not the case. As the light falls on the surface, immediately the electron comes out. So the wave theory failed to explain this phenomenon also, that why there is no time difference, why there is no time lag. Okay, why electrons are instantaneously, okay, they are coming from the metal surface. The wave theory failed to explain this thing. So basically three things were there. First, three causes of failure of wave theory. The first thing is that they have assumed that kinetic theory depends on intensity. Second, they simply neglect the role of frequency. And third, wave theory could not explain that why there is no time difference and why the emission of electrons start instantaneously. So these three things the wave theory could not explain, and that's why it failed. Then it comes Einstein's theory of photoelectric effect. After the failure of wave theory, Einstein has given some theory related to photoelectric effect. So Einstein's theory was based on Planck's quantum principle. So according to Planck's quantum theory, the light is made up of small bundles of energy. Each bundle is called photon or quanta. Okay, so that quantas are having sufficient energy, which is h nu. That means energy depends on nu, that is frequency. Okay, so electrons theory is based on that Planck's quantum theory. So the main points of Einstein's theory now we will discuss, which we have already discussed in many other parts of this chapter. Okay, so once again let's discuss it. So here are some main points. First, photoelectric emission is the result of interaction of two particles. Interaction of two particles. One, the photon of incident radiation, and other, the electron of photosensitive metal. Okay. So in light ray, photons are there, they are having some energy, they come collide with electron and they transfer their energy to electron. So there is interaction between two particles, photon and electron. Okay. Second, the free electrons are bound within the metal due to restraining forces on the surface. The minimum energy required to liberate an electron from the metal surface is called work function, which is denoted by W naught. Okay, so the minimum energy, that is h nu naught. See, nu is the frequency, nu naught is the threshold frequency. So for the electron to come out, at least threshold frequency is required. So the minimum energy which is required for the electron to come out from the metal surface is h nu naught. Is it clear? Here E equals to h nu, where nu is the frequency. If suppose we simply have to emit the electron from the metal surface, we want the electron to emit the metal surface and nothing else, we don't want to give electron any kinetic energy, we simply want to do one work, that is we want to emit the electron. So that time we only need threshold frequency, okay, nu naught. So there energy will be h nu naught, and this energy will be sufficient for the electron to come out from the metal surface, and this energy only is called as work function W naught. Okay, so what is work function? It is the minimum energy which is required for electron to come out from the metal surface. Then third point, each photon interacts with one electron. The energy h nu of the incident photon is used up in two parts. See, when the photon interacts the electron, they transfer their energy to electron. If the energy is equals to h nu naught, that is equals to work function, okay, so that will emit the electron from the surface, and if it is more than that, then the rest amount of energy will be used up by electron to get the kinetic energy. This thing also we have discussed earlier, okay. So whatever energy the photons are having, that energy is uh, spent here in two parts. First part is used for the by the electron to come out from the metal surface, and second part of the energy is used for the electron to get the kinetic energy. So here is written point A, a part of the energy of the photon is used in liberating the electron from the metal surface, which is equal to the work function W naught, okay, work function of metal. B, the remaining energy of the photon is used in imparting kinetic energy to the ejected electron, okay. So here you can see, okay, here you can see in the diagram, this is one metal surface, okay. In this metal surface, here is one bound electron. When a photon of energy h nu incident on the metal surface, this photon goes and collide with the electron, okay. When photon collides the electron, it transfers the energy to electron, and electron comes out from the metal, okay. After coming out, it gets some energy also, k equals to half mv square, and that electron which is liberated is called photoelectron. Then fourth point, very few, less than 1% photons whose energies are greater than W naught are capable of ejecting the photoelectrons. Is it clear? Very few photons, because we want a minimum threshold frequency. According to that, we want a minimum energy uh, which the photon possess, so that when it collide to electron, it will transfer that energy to electron and electron will come out. But only 1% photon can do this work, okay. So by the conservation of energy, energy of incident photon equals to, so by the conservation of energy, energy of the incident photon is spanned in two parts. First in work function, and second in maximum kinetic energy of photoelectron. So here in front of you, you have one equation. Energy of the incident photon equals to maximum kinetic energy of photoelectron plus work function. Then we know what is the energy possessed by photon. It is h nu. The maximum kinetic energy is half mv square max. This thing also we have discussed. Then work function W naught. Okay. So by putting all those values, we are having this equation, or we can also write maximum kinetic energy equals to h nu minus W naught. Okay. If we transfer W naught this side, we can get value of maximum kinetic energy, which is equals to hv minus W naught. Okay. So here you can see, when we subtract W naught, that is work function, from the energy of incident photon, so after that whatever amount of energy will left, that energy will be used up by the electron to get the maximum kinetic energy. Okay. Now suppose the maximum energy by photon is equals to threshold frequency only. Okay. See here, K max equals to h nu minus h nu naught, where h nu naught is work function. So when we take h as common, we have nu minus nu naught. Now here, if the photon is having the amount of energy which is equals to h nu naught, that is work function only. So that time, here in place of nu we will put nu naught. So obviously we will get K max equals to 0. Okay. So the maximum kinetic energy for a photoelectron which is collided by a proton, which is ejected by a proton having energy only equals to work function. So for that electron, the kinetic energy will be equals to 0. Now some points which the classical wave theory failed to explain, that points also have been explained by particle theory. Okay, Einstein's quantum theory. So here are some explanations. First, explanation of effect of intensity. The increase of intensity means the increase in the number of photons striking the metal surface per unit time. Okay. So increase in intensity means increase in number of photons. So obviously intensity will increase the number of ejected electron as well. Okay. So photoelectrons will increases with increase in intensity, and hence the current also increases. Second, explanation of threshold frequency. So from this equation, okay, from this equation we understood that if the energy possessed by photon h nu, okay, if here the value of nu is less than nu naught, so K max will be a negative value, and negative kinetic energy is not possible for any electron. Okay. So here we can understand that if the incident photon is having a frequency less than threshold frequency, so there will be no emission of electron. Third, explanation of kinetic energy. If nu is greater than nu naught, so again from this equation, if nu is greater than nu naught, so K max will be positive. Okay, that means some amount of kinetic energy will be there. So if the incident photon is having an energy, okay, with a frequency more than threshold frequency, so obviously the electron will get the kinetic energy, and kinetic energy is directly proportional to nu, because h is Planck's constant. So if we remove the constant, equal sign will change to proportionality sign. So maximum kinetic energy is directly proportional to frequency. As we increase the frequency, the kinetic energy also will increase. And last, explanation of time lag. So photoelectric emission is the result of an elastic collision between a photon and an electron. So it is not like waves are coming, they are giving energy to electron, electrons are absorbing the energy, and when they have the sufficient energy they are coming out. It is not the case here. It is the interaction between one photon and one electron. As the photon collide with electron, immediately the electron will come out, because if photon is having sufficient amount of energy, that energy the photon will transfer to electron immediately, because elastic collision is there. So the whole energy will be transferred to electron immediately, and immediately the electron will come out from the metal surface. Okay, so there is one single event of simple one collision. Okay, not like they are continuously absorbing the energy and then they are coming out. It is not like that. So that's why there is no time lag there. Okay, and as the incident ray falls on the surface, immediately the electrons start coming out. So this is it for today. Tomorrow we will discuss determination of Planck's constant and work function. Okay, so in next video we'll discuss this. For today this is it. So see you in next lecture. Till then, goodbye, take care, do some productive work, and the most important thing, be healthy, be safe.